Okie dokie. Sorry about that. I had to restart this one because the fact that, well, I couldn't exactly get the episode right. So, this I'm discussing episode 958, which is called Legendary Battle, Garp and Roger, and the 1001st chapter of the manga, Battle of Monsters on Onigashima. Yep. This one adapts from pretty much the entirety of chapter 957, though it skips over the first 3 pages for good reasons, because the first 2 pages is it pretty much starts off with a big 2-page spread, and then like page 3 is just a blank page. This mostly put is basically an exposition episode. I don't mind episodes like this, because the whole episode is mostly set at Marine headquarters. Then starts off with the fleet admiral contacting Isuku about, yeah, you got what you wanted. These 7 warlords are gone. They're no longer in power. And he's like, yeah, we had to rely on the scientific special group, basically, of what's going on. And basically what was revealed, via probably Kobe was what informed the admirals about this. The fact that Kaido and Big Mom basically are forming an alliance. And everyone's wondering, wait, is this going to, oh crap, is this a reformation of the Rock Pirates? And a lot of the youngest soldiers what in the, who are the Rock Pirates? Because basically Sengoku, who was previously, he mentions other big names like Roger, Shiki the Gold Lion. This is the first time in the series he's been brought up since Impel Down. Yeah, been that freaking long. Remember Impel Down? The arc where Luffy went to the prison for his brother, though he failed. Yeah, that was the guy who was the only person to escape from that prison. He mentioned many other names who were pirates, including Captain John and a few others. And the Rock Pirates, they essentially were a terrorist group where their top officers were their captain, Rox D. Axberg. Yeah, they revealed the D a little bit later. Along with Whitebeard, Big Mom, and Kaido part of the crew. By the way, they do not show what Big Mom looks like when she was younger. Yeah, she had a very beautiful figure when she was back then, but not now. Oh no. Yeah, I know why they couldn't exactly show her face, despite the fact they have frequently shown exactly what her face looks like, frequently in flashback. Yeah, they did bring up the whole thing with Big Mom, the fact that she's a rural country, and the fact she was rumored to destroy the Elbath, the village of Elbath years ago. Basically, it's a bridge recap of the Whole Cake arc, well, somewhat, anyways. And Whitebeard, they also his bounty in this episode. They also do apparently because the 7 warlords have all been this was abolished. All their basically the remaining warlords had all their bounties reinstated. They have not calculated exactly what their bounties are. They have revealed exactly what their bounties are this episode. Marsh DT, who's only been a warlord, who's been emperor for a year, his bounty is 2,247,600,000. Red Hair Shanks. They say he's been he's been emperor for 6 years, which okay, that's kind of a good explanation because how young he is. His bounty is 4,048,900,000. Big Mom, and this is probably a surprise. Basically, her bounty is high, 4,388,000,000. Wow. And as for Kaido, it is 4,611,100,000. Yep. And they also feel what Whitebeard's his bounty was time of his death, which was 5 million. Well, 5 billion. It's basically 5.06 billion. That's a lot. Heck, Rogers was higher than his. His was 5,564,800,000. Oh yeah, by the way, they actually show in the anime, when they show these bounties off, Deborah Jackson is one of the transponder sales. They actually pull it down. In the manga, it's really quick. They don't really show very much. And they show the actual transponder sale project this. And damn, these bounties are freaking high. They're higher than Luffy's. And he has one of the biggest bounties in the whole series. Yep. And they also bring up the fact that the reason why that the rock pirates are not brought up very much because apparently the war government covered up their actions. Despite the fact at the time, everybody knew exactly what the heck they were, what kind of pirates they were. So, what stopped them? What was the place that basically took them down? A place called God Valley, which doesn't exist anymore. They actually added in the anime that the island disappeared. How it disappeared? Presumably a buster call. They don't say it's a buster call, but that could be the reason why the island doesn't exist anymore. And God Valley was a place where the Celestial Dragons kept their slaves. Yes. Oh, and what combined force took down the Rock Pirates? The combined might of Vice Admiral Garp and Goldie Roger. Yes. These two formed an alliance, which he failed to mention in the report that he actually was a pirate. I mean, I don't think the world government had a problem. The way it's depicted, it seems like the world government had a problem with the team with someone as big as Gold Roger, who was the king of the pirates. And the reaction from the soldiers, like, are very reasonable reactions. Like, what? You teamed up with the King Roger, the king of the pirates? That's awesome. Yep. And yeah, also apparently the Rock Pirates would basically also beat each other to death as a frequent thing. I'm like, okay, who would join a crew like this? It makes no freaking sense at all. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. And they also mentioned the fact that, oh yeah, there was a pirate favored by Roger and Whitebeard, a guy named Odin. Though this comes a little bit later on about this, like, and we do briefly see that Garp's reaction to the Big Mom and kind of formulates like, oh no, not this crap again. He basically comes up, and you do see him basically a ship going to the surface. Because in the manga, it's like very brief, like one panel. Here, you actually his ship that he has going to the surface. Where the heck he's going? No idea. This is probably after he left the family, the palace in Fishman Island. Excuse me. It probably would have been nice showing a flashback, probably later on in the series, of him saying goodbye to the royal family. Because it seems as though Neptune and Garp get along really well. And it seems as though that, well, that basically he has no problem. The way it's shown in the series, he has no problem with Shirahoshi Hirado as Luffy's grandfather. He has no problem with that at all. It seems like he likes it because, well, yes, he does know he's Luffy's, like, it seems as though because he knows what happened at Fishman Island. So, basically, from his perspective, it's probably Shirahoshi showing him a lot of respect because she's good friends with Luffy, and he basically has no problem with that at all because, well, what happened at Fishman Island wasn't highly publicized outside of Fishman Island, and I don't think he wanted to upset basically what was going on in Fishman Island because of how much respect the fishmen and the mermaids love Luffy and the Straw Hats. So he didn't want to upset them by basically giving anything related to pirates, because if he did, he basically received some outrage from the royal family about it. So even he knew not to upset basically something. Because the thing with the way that Garp is, he's kind of smart in that way, despite the fact he's very much like his grandson Luffy, where he tends to sleep and he's a bit lazy. But he's always a fun character to watch on the screen, despite the fact he doesn't really appear very much. Yep. And then while they're having a conversation basically about Wano, then comes the Fleet Admiral just happily walking in. Says, like, this is a slight wording change from the manga. He says, in the manga, he says they don't have the manpower. In the anime, he says they don't have the resources to go to Wano because, well, they would probably these former seven warlords. And it's like, oh, and Sengoku's like, I had no intention of going to Wano. I just want to inform my wisdom to these young soldiers. And he mentioned that all the stuff happening in Wano is too much of a coincidence, and that's where the episode ends. It's a really good episode. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Can't wait for next week, which is going to be the start of Act 3 for the series. Yeah, it's interesting, though, they actually had this, like, because in the manga, it was like 2 chapters in the outside world, because at the end of Act 1, you had 1 chapter in the outside world, outside of Wano, and then go back to Wano the next chapter. This time was basically between Act 2 and Act 3, is 2 chapters. I think between I don't remember if there was I wouldn't be surprised if there's like an Act 5 or 6. I wouldn't be surprised about that. Because this arc is like humongously popular. Yeah, that's the thing with the Wano arc. It's not only popular for the manga side, the anime, people love the anime when it comes to this arc. It's by far, for a lot of people, depicted as probably like the best arc of the series so far when it comes to, well, arcs in the anime. Okay, and then we on to News Chapter 1, Chapter 1001, The Battle of Montos and Onigashima. Chapter starts off with a cover image of Jinbei just relaxing on a jellyfish. Great to see him. I'm wondering, like, when the heck is his next cover story going to start off? So, we start off with basically Luffy, Zoro, Captain Kidd, Trafalgar Law, and Killer. Like, everyone's wondering, like, hey, you learned that hockey from the old man? Huh. And Captain Kidd's like, huh, you can hurt Kaido with physical blows? You have a chance of winning. And I was like, let me say one thing. You have any idea what it means to be King of the Pirates? And Kaido's like, Straw Hat, Thunder. But he basically swings his club at him. Misses. Luffy swings around. And of course, Big Mom summons Prometheus. And then you have Zoro. Then he has Foxfire style. Fire, Famrod, basically slicing in half Prometheus. And Luffy's like, whoa, let's keep my technique. And they're like, hey, I stole it. And Big Mom was like, Prometheus! Yep, slice in half. And Zoro's like, don't lose focus for an instant, Luffy. These are members of the sea. Chambers. Yep, they slipped away. And of course, then Law and him is like, it's Traffy. Hey, Straw Hat. I want to think clear. I was already planning on moving the Straw Hat somewhere below, huh? Somewhere below. But you said it make it sound like it was following orders. Who cares how it sounds? Same difference. Is that right, Jeff Auger? You're Straw Hat's henchman now. He's like, I would never. Look, no skin off my back which you losers follow the order. What? Being a bird them all, Prometheus heavily bounds. And about to sever and of course they all get hit in the face. Well, just basically Captain Kidd, Luffy, and Straw Hat the same reaction, like, Urgh! And the Zoro's like, what are you trying to accomplish? And of course he puts on his bandana on his head because it's taking it seriously. Yeah, and he tells Killer, he's like, don't gamble away, Hiroki Gizmo. You didn't hear many people with that laugh was that weird. And of course he's like, fuck, 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 fuck. And he's like, Angry. And of course you have Killer and Zoro slicing at Kaido. And then you have Captain King going in his punk rotten form. Luffy going to Gear 4. First time in quite a while he's done this. He hasn't done this since the first time he fought Kaido. This was like kind of toward the end of Act 1. And then Law's like, room. He's like, come. And they all basically launched a full-scale attack on him. Yeah, I gotta love this cover image. This image is so great. Everybody like their big pumped up mode. And it was like, Luffy's like, Gum Gum, King Kong Gun. And Captain Kidd is like, Punk Face. Yep. And of course, Kaido transforms to his dragon form. And he's like, who you think I was ashamed of Q? Let me know a choice. Once you're dead, I'll take everything you have. All your manpower treasure belongs to us. You got some pulling gifts too, I assume. Can't wait for that. Whoever wins gets that much closer to King of the Pirates. Yeah, absolute fantastic chapter. 10 out of 10. The only problem with this chapter is next chapter comes on in 2 weeks. I'm like, what? We just came back from a 2-week break and we're doing another one. Why? I don't know. It's quite dumb. Like, we just came back from a 2-week break and we're doing another one? Why? Is the series going bi-weekly now? I don't know. It's kind of weird, to say the least. But I can't wait for the next chapter. But we have like 2 freaking weeks for it. There must be some reason why Oda is taking a week off. Well, at least My Heroes come out next week. And along with Black Clover, yeah, both those two, they're releasing a new chapter next week. But not One Piece. Nope, not One Piece. Yep, it's okay. So that's a particular review. My next video will be a review of Boruto. Yep, soon. Okay? See you next video. Bye.